Hello, everyone. Okay, I was really hoping that my two puppies were going to lay down, but they're not. Hi, Anne Marie. So I wanted to get started a few minutes early to walk through the project with you and to show you two collections because I know there's been a lot of questions. You've all asked, what paper collection is this? And I do want to go through and show you the project. So if you are just now jumping on, turn this off. There, you can see that better. If you're just now jumping on, you'll be able to watch this recording, and then you're going to be able to scroll past this beginning. But I do want to show you the two collections and a couple things that I will be using with it. And one is, of course, I'll show you the new paper collection quickly. But one is just the ribbon, the Christmas red and gold ribbon that will be on the website Monday. So it's absolutely gorgeous. Hi, Cheryl. And then you'll also want to use, let me put those over there. If you're going to make it just like mine, then the lights that I sell in the store, the little mini lights, you'll need a package of those. The poinsettias will be made with the Heartfelt Creations poinsettia dice. And they're just wonderful. Or if you have a Cricut, those make really, really nice poinsettias. There's a lot of different things on your Cricut and Silhouette. But then, well, hi, Danelle. Then on the back, you can kind of see the construction that we'll be doing for the light box. I have to fix that part. And this was my practice one, so we'll be doing things a little bit different, a little bit better, I hope. And these are just the flat back pearls you can get online. We have more coming, and they're in the shakers, and they are just really awesome to get all the different colors in the Button Galore shaker flat back pearls. So we'll be creating this. Now I started this one, and I will finish it, but I want to show you what it's going to look like. And I started it with my new paper collection, Old World Christmas, that will be coming out next month. And one reason I needed to get started with this is because it's going to be in the store, and I needed a sample. Move my coffee. I needed a sample of it so that I have it, the display, in the store for next month when we open. So if you are local or you're driving through and you come by the store, you can actually see the samples too. But the Old World Christmas will be on the website September 10th. And you're going to see more of this. Of course, Sally will be doing more of a video. Definitely different than some of the collections you've seen out there. And again, you get 3 sheets of these main papers. And then you get 2 sheets. I've had some questions. Why? Well, Tammy Dix, I don't know. Where did you see that at? Because they haven't told me that. If you saw it, I can definitely ask Greg. You get 2 of these, and I'll tell you why. Sometimes you want extras, but then sometimes you want to use the back. And so that's why you get 2 of these and 2 of these. And you can't have too many tags. Again, because of the back. I didn't want to just put 1 in there. And then you get 3 of the paper collections because you want to be able to make more than one project with this. And with shipping, you don't want me to have to send you out another package. Hi, Heather. And that is why you get the 3 of each design in here. That way you don't have to worry about having another package shipped. So the Old World lanterns. Then we have some French Christmas music. Amis means friends. in French. And then you have those really pretty ornaments that you can cut out, as you'll see Sally do, and put on a tree. Music sheet, stars, no ornaments. Oh, I'm going to turn this back on. I know the lighting's not that great at night down here. Okay, we have snowy hills with Santa. There is a couple. I put the back on all of these the same. I found, and I'm glad I did because I'm using a lot of it. These are your 6x6. So they're going to be a great size for your cards. And then you have a full sheet of the Santas and the little kids without. Now, this one, again, has the same green plaid. You know why? It has, I grabbed that shit and say, wait a minute. Okay, there's the three. It's not, okay, I did take a short nap before I started the live, so excuse me for not being totally awake. I'll be home for Christmas. And of course, don't forget the 8x8 size. And there's our old world Santa. And we have a different Santa. So I didn't want just one Santa. I wanted to capture some different Santas on here. Okay. So that one is, let me just let, okay. That away. Again, don't forget we have the 8x8 also, but today you're going to see me using this one. So I'm going to use Once Upon a Christmas for the one that we're creating on camera. When I do finish this one, then I will put the whole thing up. We're going to walk through this, but I'm going to be using Once Upon a Christmas. And those dogs better not start up. Okay, so we have a different color tone here. We have the plum. And of course our tags. 8x8 size will be smaller, which are really nice for gift giving. And we have that black. And then we've got some staining. And then we are going to get out into the forest a little bit with this one. Some more of that snow with gold. And we've got the farmhouse and the barn. So you've got the farmhouse back here. And then the shelter area. And the green. So you can definitely see the trees on that mountainside. We have Santa. We have two different Santas. So you have an old world Santa and you have a more modern Santa. Then we have Santa's sleigh and the newspaper advertisements to buy a Santa sleigh. And then we have the gold. And you can't have a Christmas paper without the church in the background. Santa's sleigh down here. And there we have our Polar Express. And our burgundy. More of a plum. That's our bird. And then our Santas. Again, you can color on these because of this vellum paper. These are colorable. And so are your candy canes. So the candy canes are also on the back of this one. I don't want to knock that coffee over because that would be an absolute disaster. And that also goes well. So I'm going to be doing it with making the one tonight with this. It's our 8x8. So I'm going to set this aside and show you the box. Okay, you already saw the lid. And I have to tell you about this box. This is a remake, and I was asked to remake it. When Bo Bunny had made a small one, then we redid it myself, and then she has since passed away. And Susan Chamberlain, she was on my YouTube, and we had done this together. We created a bigger one with recipe cards in it for Bo Bunny, and I was looking for my original one, but I think it's in a box. I need to get it out. So I did a remake because I had some emails asking would I remake it because some of the video it's just really old, but I did some changes to it. So on this one, I did do a tray so that we have a tray to set it in with feet. And the feet you can just get online. They're these ones are the Tim Holtz. The Tim Holtz. I have them in stock. So go ahead and grab your feet. And then we, of course, the lid. We already went through the lid that lights up. And then the box will open. So let me lay this down flat. So when we originally made this box together, it was for Bo Bunny. It was a recipe collection line, and it had recipe cards in here that were pre-made by Bo Bunny. They used to do a journal line, so we had them in here. I did start the little, there's going to be a little folio in here with an envelope. I had to tear it apart, which is okay, because it was really easy to make again. I didn't make it the right size. So, like I said, this is going to take us a little long to do. It's not going to be a fast project. It'll take us a few times. And it does take quite a bit of paper when we're building this. But we're going to have a folio in the back with an envelope. It's going to be like a Christmas organizer. Then I will make some cards to put in here. And then I'm going to make two little, other little booklets. We'll go into there. And then when we come down here at the bottom, you're going to have a place to put your Christmas pictures with our pull-out waterfall. And it just sits there nicely. So nice memory. But again, you can use it every year because all you have to do is make new little booklets to put inside there, or you can keep it throughout the year to make Christmas cards, stuff them in there, and have them ready to go. And you will want one magnet for this. And so we are going to create today the outside shell. We're not going to do these inside shelves. I'm hoping we will be able to get through the whole thing because it is going to take a while. Well, thank you. And then the lid just folds back up. Lid goes on. And you don't have to have the bottom tray, but it sure does make it really pretty when it's sitting on the shelf. And we aren't, of course, doing the lid today. We will be doing this lid next week. Because the lid by itself is going to be one tutorial because it will take a little bit. We'll just turn that off and set this aside and let's get started. Okay, I already had posted the cutting guide. So if you're looking for that cutting guide, it should be at the top of this video. And I have everything cut It is quite a few pieces. It is the lightweight chipboard, and I did put in there that I would be putting my score tape sheets on there so that I was ready to go. And I have also given you the measurements for the cardstock. So our cardstock's ready to go. Now the thing to remember when we're building this is going to be 8.5 inches wide. It is 8 inches tall. So it's 8 inches tall when we go to put this together. And it's going to be important when wrapping it. No, there's not a kit for it. I could put one together for you if you'd like, if you guys want a kit. Absolutely. I can do that. And I can get that put together for you after our show. Okay. We're going to start with wrapping all of the chipboard. And that's the only reason I didn't want to wrap this beforehand. Is because there's some things that'll be different because it's the way we put our box together. I don't use binder strips. I don't like to I don't do things straight when I do that. And the old one is put together on my YouTube by Susan using binding strips. Don't like binding strips. So this is how we're going to do this. So I'm going to cut my cardstock to wrap my chipboard, which is 8 by 8.5. Cut your cardstock 10 by 10.5. Okay. And I'm going to use my spacers. And you can use glue. I like score tape sheets. Okay, as soon as the video's over, I will put the kit together. And then you'll have a written guide each week with it. Okay, so I've taken the backing off. If this makes you nervous, I'll show you on the next one what to do. No, the paper is not available yet, Diane. It's brand spanking new. And it's printing. It will be on the website September 10th. So if you are wanting a kit, that means your kits will be sent out September 10th. This cardstock is burgundy. The cardstock I use for this one is the artisan red, and that I made the flowers out of is artisan red. And I'll be using artisan black as my matting. So I'll put the kit together with both papers, and you'll see I use some of the My Colors brown with this one because that's a mocha brown type of lettering that I used on the paper. And then we have the cinnamon sticks, so I went with browns. Okay, so we're going to start with our front and back piece. Like I said, wrapping this is going to be totally, some of it will be different because the way we're going to connect our bottom, the way we connect these sides, and everything. So you might want a pencil. Okay, that means on our 8-inch side, our 8.5-inch side, one of these we do not want to wrap. And it doesn't matter if it's top or bottom when it comes to this. I wish because see, you're not even going to see, but you can definitely see. You really can't see. We hit it up pretty good. So you can't see which is top or bottom. I'm putting the burgundy on this one. So I'm just going to mark with an X to remind me that I don't need to wrap this edge. But you still need to go ahead and burnish it like I'm going to do. On this one with the burgundy, I'm going to put the one I just showed you, the Once Upon a Christmas, so that I have a sample with both to have in the store. Hi, Bonnie. I hope you have that figured out. But Bonnie, I hope you don't delete any videos yet. I'll tell you why. If you delete any live videos that are in our retreat groups, because they're not on YouTube, they disappear forever and ever. Don't delete anything, okay? Or you'll be crying. That's why I had to redo some videos. I hope you heard me okay. Yeah, just going, making sure. Okay. Okay. Yeah, wait. All right, let's cut those corners. This is just like wrapping our album covers. Now I need to go back through. And miter those corners. And if you're new to how I wrap my corners, remember, chipboard, stopper, and then just pivot your scissors in. And you'll never cut that too short. Now we have to do the opposite sides. Hello, Suzette. Where my X is will be the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and just get all my sides done using my glue. You can use your score tape if you like. And if it happens to go quiet, you don't hear any background noise, I promise you haven't lost, I haven't lost my audio. I may have to mute. Wilbur and Homer, well, I think it's, no, Wilbur's being good. He's sleeping, but Homer, he is up there throwing stuff around. So if he starts throwing them down the stairs, I'll have to mute us. Can you guys hear that? What Homer does, he gets on the bed. Well, here he comes. That's Homer. He gets his toys and he throws them in the air. And he chases them. And that's what he's doing. And he's going to bring every single one of them downstairs. Hi, Sharon. Okay, let's see how many he's going to end up bringing down here. And he went and hid it in the back of the room. I don't know why. He's a funny little guy. Okay. Yeah, it makes him busy, but hopefully it's not going to make him noisy. So we're going to set that aside. We have 2 of those. I'll show you on this one. If you're wanting to use the score tape sheets, but you're nervous about removing the backing. Yes, actually, Sherry, yes, we did. I know I didn't announce it. We've been writing down all the names. We're still going to do the drawing for the tags, and they are just beautiful, beautiful. So we had you all who wanted to send in tags by August 15th. Well, mail them by August 15th, so we get them in time. You still really have time. And we'll be hanging them in the store to display for our grand opening so that you guys are there with us. This, yes, and this is in the store. You want to get the large one. It's not new. I've had this since April. You never have to clean it. They're wonderful. They come with this, the Scrap Perfect glue tip. Yes, I like this much better because this never breaks. You can get replacement, but I haven't had to use any of the replacements. Nope, these are great. Okay, if you're nervous, just remove a little piece. Fit it up in the corner. And remove the backing. And again, I need one of these tabs to put my box together. So we will only wrap 3 sides. Oh my God. Why do these people have to get on YouTube and do this? Really, we don't care. So let's get rid of you. Let's block you. I wish these scammers had something better to do with their lives. Oh. Sorry, I need to open my YouTube also so we can get them blocked. Okay. Well, I'll just have to watch that. Oh, Sandy. Okay, Sandy, you're on here. Awesome. Looks like Sandy took care of it for us. Thank you, Sandy. And thank you, Bonnie. Bonnie just posted the link for the glue tip, the glue bottle tip. Okay, you're only here for a bit. Okay. Well, thank you for taking care of that. For all the complaining and that YouTube and Facebook does if you post a video that has what they think is music that's copyrighted, or you understand that they can't take care of all of these sexually explicit spammers. It's just crazy. Hi, C. Glad you're here with us. It's just crazy. Well, if you want enjoyment, you come to the right place. See, we got a dog snoring, one throwing toys down the stairs, and one sleeping. Okay, I'm just making sure I did the right size. So that's my X. I'll put that at the bottom. We'll just start wrapping these 3 sides. Monday, we're going to be working on our project live because we start painting on Tuesday. And I will try and keep this project going next week. So you're not, I don't like, you know me, I don't like to drag our projects out way, way long. I know that we're absolutely going to get the box finished next week. And then it just might be that first week, the next week after that I get back to getting the little folio and the cards and those 2 little booklets done for the inside. But we will get it done so that you guys do not have to be left hanging finishing up the project. Okay, so we have those 2 done. The next thing that we're going to do is you have 4 pieces. Well, you actually have 5, but 4. I hope I got these all correct. Let's start with the one that is 4 inches by 8.5, because this is going to be the bottom. I'm just checking my 4s by 8. So we have 4 by 8 pieces. Seems like one of mine may have been just a little off. It's not going to hurt. It is a little off, but I've got 2 of them. So I'm going to cut this, see what the issue is here. Oh, much better. So it was just the artist cutting. Small pieces. Oh, here Homer comes. Now, on your 4, you have 4 pieces of cardstock that are 7 by 11. And you may say, why are they 7 by 11 when this is 4 by 7? I mean, no, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, when it's 8 by 4. So I have 1.5 inches all the way around. And the reason I did this is because we want more to connect. Okay. And the way that these work, let me show you. We're going to wrap one of the outside pieces. Let me show you. These are the pieces we're working on the side, these two sides for our box right now. And yes, it's 1.5, but I just did it all the way around. Yes, my favorite trimmer is my Dolly 550. It's large. I can show you at the end, and it just cuts your chipboard so smooth. Well, the heavier it is, you got to put a little more weight, but this lightweight, it's fabulous. Anyway, so you want a nice finish edged. We're going to wrap here, but we need to leave the side and the bottom. So we're only going to wrap 2 sides, the top and this side. It is longer. It's not just 1 inch, it's 1.5, because I want 1.5 inches to connect it to the back here and to connect our bottom. You can do it with 1 inch. I prefer not to. So I have other sets because I have them in other colors. If you don't have more than one set, that's okay. A couple of different things you can do. Do you have your 1/2 inch spacers? So that's a 1/2 inch spacer. There's my 1 inch spacer. Then there's my 1.5. So if you don't have 2 1.5 inch spacers, but you have the small ones. So we have the 3/8 and the 1/2. So we have these sets too. And there's a 1/4 in there. You can put it right there. Then when you put this down, it'll be 1.5 all the way around. So I'm going to use my 2 1.5 inch spacers. You can take him and have him play with you. I don't know where he's at right now. I pray he's not getting into anything he's not supposed to. So I want to go ahead and just get both of these. Let's go ahead and do both of these at one time. So they're 7 by 11. Make sure I have my 4 by 8. That's the longer one. Let's just put him way aside. Claudia, did you find those papers you were looking for today? The Midnight Ride from last year? Okay. Now you got to remember, one is the left-hand side, one is the right-hand side. So I'm going to do the top and this side. Then on this one, I'll do this side and this side. But if you get it wrong, just turn it upside. Well, you really can't turn it upside down. So this is going to be the left-hand side of my box. So I am not going to wrap this side, and I'm not wrapping the bottom. Okay. If you need to mark yours that way, that does help to give that visual. And this is why I didn't tell you to go ahead and just wrap your pieces. And I knew it would be, well, this is our construction, so I need to do it on camera so that I show you exactly which ones to wrap and not wrap. Oh, okay. I didn't even look at it last night. And then we went to my grandson's football game and we didn't get home till 4 o'clock. I didn't know it was going to last that long, but then we did have to run to the store. And okay, let's cut the corners out. Your corners are a little bit bigger this time because they're 1.5 inches. Now we still want to go up and miter all these corners. Sorry, I just knocked my screen off. There we go. Bottom side with the X. I'm not going to wrap, so I'm only going to do these two sides. And now the top. And then I have to be honest with you. Well, you'll be able to when you make this again. It is easier to paper this before we put it down. But it's still going to be very workable to mat. So I am going to put it together with you because we have to mat this inside before we can even put our little shelves inside, because it's the only way it can be done. And I'm hoping we will get to the matting. Well, hi, Renee. How are you? So I'm going to just set that aside. Now, if you remember, this is going to be, now you can get kind of a visual here. This is going to be my left side of the box. I wish you guys could see Homer. He now has a blanket. I want to show you this. So now this is how we're going to put this together. And see, I only have 1 inch here, and that's all I wanted. But we will be putting this together like so. That kind of helps, I think, with the visual. Then this one, now you can see why we will leave this side and this the left side and the bottom open. And Homer has Wilbur's blanket. And now a fight's going to start. So I have an X on the left and an X on the bottom because I do not want to wrap those two pieces. If Wilbur wakes up and sees that Homer has his blanket, and it's his 1-year blanket he's had since he turned 1, Oh, it's going to get into a fight. I can see it now. So Homer just dropped it. Let me give you the play-by-play. I'm going to get in trouble. Do you want to see the friends? Do you want to see your friends? Do you want to show everybody where you are? I don't know if we can see you. I don't know if you guys can you guys see him? Come here. Say hi. Yeah, he's going to get in trouble. Because Wilbur's going to see it and he's going to get mad. Okay, corners come out. Which beagle went to the trash can ring? None of them. Oh, you mean when he fell into the trash can? That was funny, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember when we were on camera and that was Wilbur. He fell into the trash can off my chair. No. None of them have recently, thank goodness. No. Yes, let me come closer. I just cut straight up the middle of that score line, right to the corner of my chipboard. I mean, right to the chipboard. If you sew, you're gonna these corners will be familiar. When I sew quilts and blankets, or I do hems on big things, this is what I do. Yes, he does want attention, and he's getting really bad about it. In fact, to the point where the girls throw him out when they're working. Because he does this, he stands there and cries and barks at us until somebody either picks him up or lets him get on the tables with them. Now we're going to cut our corners. You did. What's an easier way? We love easier ways, Connie. Let me cut this longer one first. Yes, please tell us. You can angle them as you're cutting that square, but I don't. I've too many times gone and cut them too short. That's why I do the square and then go back and miter. So these two I do not want to wrap. And also, I never have holes. Don't cut the corners first. Just fold them over and cut. Oh! Don't cut the corners first. Fold them over. Oh, and then cut when they're together. We'll try that on the next one. Okay, you guys ready? Let's get our box. Now, you're going to want clothespins or clips, whatever your favorite clip is. If you have the ones from the Dollar Tree, those are great. These don't leave marks. I love my clothespins. They're my extra fingers. But if you have these little guys are pretty tight. And if you get it up too high, if you've noticed that, I've had it mark mine. So I save these for if you're using lightweight chipboard. I do save these for my heavier chipboard. I don't like them on this lightweight chipboard. Okay, let's grab just one. And before we put this together, I am going to go back through with a different bone folder. This one is a little sharper, and I'm going to really make that crease a little more crisp. Try and make it go as flat as possible. Then make sure everything is trimmed the way we want it. Nothing sticking out on the edges, so it's nice and clean. See how stiff it is, so let's really push that down so it's not stiff. You can use the thicker chipboard. This is going to be just as sturdy. Well, it's not going to be just as sturdy. I'll be honest with you, it is a little more flexible, but if you're going to use heavier chipboard, because I did on my first one, and I can show that one to you. But I do need to show you something on it. So this was when I started making it, because I am also making with our love letters. I did a heavier chipboard, and I do not want you to, okay, I don't know if you can see, I got some cracking even with the artisan. It's not super noticeable, no. But what happened was you've got to have a space there. Because when you do a thicker one, or if you're going to try and wrap, okay, say you want this to the outside instead of the inside. I know some of you have that preference. You're going to get a crack. You got to leave a space. That's the only thing. If you're going to go with a heavier chipboard, make sure you're going to leave just a little bit of a space. Even if it's just a 30 seconds, just a tiny bit. Don't put it right up against the chipboard. If you're going to wrap it, see to the back, because it's going to put some pressure there. That's why I'm not wrapping this to the back. So I'm going to fold that in, add my glue. This is why I want my clothespins. We're going to set it right on top and make it even, and we're going to glue that down. Or you can use your dry adhesive, but wet adhesive is going to make this pretty permanent. Okay, you need the flap at the bottom, finished edge to the inside, hinge to the back. And this is why you want your clothespins. We'll clean up this glue in just a moment, so don't worry. See, I want to put my clothespins down as far as they'll go. That's why I don't want to use those other clips. Let's get something. Oh, here it is. Just clean that glue off. Okay. We'll just let that sit. And let's do the other side. Once again, we have the finished edge to the inside, hinge to this side. Don't put your glue clear to the edge. It's going to seep up there anyway when you squish it together. And I have no idea where all my clothespins over the years have gone. I have to go get some more. And if you don't have enough, at least get your top and your bottom. While that one's drying, then you can work over here. It dries pretty fast. So I will go ahead and switch things over. Clothespins just speeds up the process so that your hands are free. These aren't too dried out. No, it's not too dried. So this is a wet wipe. I just want to get that glue off the top. And if you're using Artisan, it really isn't going to hurt it. Just don't get it too wet. Because it was kind of globbed there. See, we're going to bring that back over. So this is where if you're wrapping it to the outside, you need that space there. So when you burnish that, then you don't get a crack. Well, Susan did use a spacer because she used construction strips. And when she took it around, but yeah, when you use construction strips, you have a little more freedom, but you still do want to space those two. But I can't ever make a box straight with construction strips. That's why I developed doing my boxes this way. I cannot do construction strips. There is no way. No way possible. Now, when you bring your box together, you're going to mat this, and it's going to look okay. But I wanted to go ahead, just like on an album, and I do want to I'm going to put a piece of paper across here. And these are 8.5 inches long, so it doesn't have to be a lot. It can be one of your scraps. And I should have, you know what? Let me pull a Sally. Let me see something. I had just cut them last night. There we go. And I just usually throw my scraps in there. I don't really wad them up. See, that'll be fine. And I'm going to cut it at 8 3/8. Now you're going to have these, you should have these same size when you cut your papers. It came out to be 2 inches. If you don't, it doesn't have to be 2 inches. It can be 3 inches. It can be 4 inches. So I'm just going to take my score tape sheet and I'll just go ahead and cut this at 1 7/8, or well, really close to 2. Take a little bit off because this is 8 1/2. We don't need it to be. We need it to be 8 3/8. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start here at the top. So now I hear Homer in the garbage, and he doesn't think I hear him down the hall in the garbage. Now he's going to get in trouble. Now, because this doesn't have to be a perfect 2 inches, it doesn't have to be perfect any size, and I don't want any of that glue or tape sticking out on the edge, so I'm going to cut it off so I don't drive myself crazy with tape sticking out. No, bad scraps. If I was to keep all the scraps that I accumulate, homily, it would be a disaster. Now I already have this sticking over there, so I'm just going to go a little more to the right. Let me see something. I obviously don't know how to cut paper because this is 8 inches. Let's try again. So I only need it to be about 7 7/8. Easy fix. Okay. Oh, he knew he was caught. Yes, Sally is going to whoop me, isn't she? Hey, it was easily gotten right back out of my paper garbage. You're in trouble, huh? No. Okay, there we go. Oh, thank you, Connie. Hi, Bobby. And it's so straight, yes. Okay. Now see how much nicer that looks in that corner. Now I will add just a hair. I was going to use glue, but I don't want it to squish out. So let me grab that piece I just cut off. It's just a little too much of the bottom left uncovered with an adhesive. And I don't want the glue to ooze out into the hinged area because it will get it wet. I should mention that. So I don't like to use glue here because it does get your hinged area wet. No. Okay. Just check that everything's together. If not, you can add more adhesive and your clothespins. I think that is pretty well tight. Oh yeah, it's tight. I'll just clean that off. So you're still going to want your clothespins. And fold these in again. And what we're going to do is we're eventually going to hook these together like so, but we don't want to do that right now. We do need to get that bottom in, but we need to wrap it first. So I'm going to wait to glue these in because we're going to connect the bottom here first, and then we'll get everything connected. So let's set that aside. And the piece that's our back piece. Okay, we have the two pieces that are 4 by 8, and they're going to be onto the other side. So we're just going to set those aside for a minute. And I want you to grab the longer piece that was 4 by 8.5. Okay. So you should have a piece. I wish I could have a camera on him, you guys. Oh, he's a nut. This should be my, that's not the ones we want. We want our 7 by 11. Those are going to be for that one. So that must be this one. I want 7 by 11.5. That's the piece I want. 7 by 11.5. Now the only difference is on here, we relate to the part. Hello. I just want to have my visual here. We are going to leave these two long sides. Let me put this, these two long sides. And we're going to wrap the two short sides. Okay. And again, I have that 1.5 just because it gives us more to work with. Oh, no, I told you wrong. Let me take a double look here. No, because we are going to hook this side to that hinge, that side to that hinge. Oh, we wrapped this whole thing. I've only made this, what, how many times? And I can't. Yeah, we're going to wrap this whole thing. We don't need these hinges. I just happened to cut 1.5 inches, so we'll go with it. So this gets wrapped on all 4 sides. So we don't lose them. I'm going to fold all these. Connie, I want to ask you a question. So you're telling me then you just fold all these? And you're telling me you're just going to cut it like so? I love seeing how different crafters do them. So Connie was saying after she folds them all, she just cuts them. So am I assuming you're cutting them like so? Because if so, I'm not getting that one. I'll have to play with that after. Right now, just stick with our my tried and true method. Yeah, oh yes, fold all corners. And I'm gonna, do you want me to cut straight across? I'll wait and see if we get a yes. Now cut. Okay. Now cut. Okay. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. Okay. 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 Do you still? Okay. Did I just do that right? No, because I wouldn't have. Okay. And of course, I have to do these separate since I already cut them. Okay. Well, that just sped up that process. Thank you very much for sharing. So thank you, Connie. Standing ovation, everyone. She just made our process a little quicker than cutting out those squares. So we'll do it on the next one. And look at that. Well, thank you for sharing. That is wonderful. Yes, she gets a standing ovation. I'll do it again on the next ones. I'm probably doing that all the time now. We make sure. No, we're good. Almost got a little close there, but that was because I'd already pre-cut. So very cool. Okay. Now on this one, we are going to go ahead and just mat the bottom. And you don't have your paper. So if you're creating this without your pattern paper, you're going to create this one as your, because you want to make one as a test also. I'm just going to go ahead and use my artisan cardstock, and I'm going to mat this piece. Oh, I take that back. Actually, that's what I did to begin with, because the bottom, I did do the matting on that later. Completely forgot. I'll show you the bottom. But it was not hard to mat. That's the bottom. Oops, it's not fall. Well, hello, Anne Marie. Remember, we're wrapping this whole thing. And this is a 4 by 8.5. And oh, I know why I did the 1.5. Okay, it's coming back to me as I made this last week. Because in the beginning, I did put this to the inside, and I didn't even worry about this because it gets covered. But with the lighter weight chipboard, it never hurts, and you're going to have scraps. So we are going to cover it. So this is 4 by 8.5. So I'm going to cut this at 3 7/8. 3 7/8, yes. By 8 3/8. And this is just going to give it also some extra thickness. Save that little piece. And I'm just going to use my glue. And I'm just going to set that right on top. This way also, it's not going to matter which is the top and which is the bottom. Now, if you have your designer paper, you certainly could mat this before you put it into your box. Not the inside. You don't need to mat the inside. We do some little strips and do the matting inside of our little drawer pieces later. But if you want to mat the bottom because you want it to be finished, then I did double mat. And I will be using black artisan to do my double matting. So I would cut a double mat that's 3 7/8 by 8 3/8, and then my pattern paper on top. But we're not going to do that right this minute, because we're going to go ahead and now attach this to our hinge here. And one thing, just making sure nothing's in the way. So what's going to happen is we're going to place this on that hinge. And see, it's going to flip back. Okay, just like we did the sides. So I really want you to burnish that. Make sure it's nice and flat. You need to turn it upside down, and therefore, see, it doesn't matter. Oh, gosh, this person needs a life. There, we blocked him again. Okay, this should fit just fine end to end. Don't worry, mine sticks over just a tiny bit. It's okay. We're going to put our clothespins on, and then we're going to set this aside for a moment because we want to wrap those other 2x4s, or 2x4s. Thinking about wood. 4x8s. You know, the bots are totally crazy. Remember our 4x8s? Okay. These are going to be just a little bit different. On this one, we wrap 2 sides. This one, now we're going to wrap 3 sides because we want this to work. See, this is going to work. So we wrap 3 sides, and we're going to have one side that is our hinge. So I'm going to go just a hair quicker. These are 7x11. Again, I have 1.5 on each side. I like to make sure I got a nice thick hinge, wide hinge to connect. You know, I wish there was some YouTube bots listening or some YouTube people that would do something with these bots on crafting videos from all places. Do you think we're looking for that? If we were looking for that, we wouldn't be playing with paper, for heaven's sakes, right? We don't. We've got paper. We have glue. We can make our own. So go away, right? Oh, Wilbur finally got up. He went out back. Hopefully he'll play with Homer and keep him busy. That's right, Heather. We can make our own. Okay. Now, once again, though, you have to leave your inside. These are our hinge pieces. So if you need to mark, this will be my left hand. This will be my right hand side. That means do not wrap. So I'm going to wrap these 3. So we're going to do this completely the Connie way, because that really is, I think, a lifesaver. No, a time saver. You know, they do need to step up their game because they're constantly, one of the videos I made of Wilbur and Homer, I had to fight the music. They said it was a copyright. I'm like, you better check again, because that's on my phone and it's provided by by Samsung, and it's not copyrighted. And they did. They went ahead and put the music back on. And my thoughts were, you have time to troll my puppies and tell me that I just did something wrong. You have time to even say that my dog's music is a copyright, but you let that go on all the time between YouTube. I have to pay attention to what I'm doing. I'm not doing this correctly. You know what I'm saying, though, guys. Somehow, Connie, I've lost my train of thought of doing this. That's what happens. With me. Okay. Look at you guys. It makes little baby airplanes. Look at this. That's pretty cool. Remember, I am not going to wrap this side. Glue in there. Hi, Fauna. You're supposed to be on vacation having fun. What are you doing? Now, this is kind of a working mechanism, kind of a hinge on a book. So I'm going to bend it backwards. We really want to, make sure that it will work because we're going to be swinging this back and forth and back and forth. Just like so. Stop for a minute because I just want to make sure, glue doesn't get stuck where it doesn't belong. Nope, it didn't, so we're good. But what happened here? Okay, so if you have a spot like I have right here, let's go ahead and add some more adhesive. Let that kind of set. That side's good. Okay, on to our second one. Oh, here they come. See, and for me, I still have to go back and clean them up. I will get that technique down, though. So I still didn't get close enough because I'm still a little nervous cutting them at the same time. Yeah, it is. I just I need to get more. When I can't see that chipboard, I get nervous. I need to get over that and we'll be great. So there's my X. Definitely speeds up the process. Top and bottom. My hinge side. Let's go ahead now and fold it to the back. Okay, let's go back to this piece. Clean up my glue mess if you have any. does dry pretty much clear, but still I don't want a big glob when it dries. So now when we open our box, let's get our hinges back to the inside. So see how that will flop open. So if you need to trim up any of your corners, don't worry if you get too close because you're not going to see it, but you don't want it to bend up and crinkle either. But we're going to now adhere those ends together. Let's show what it looks like on the back side. So we will want clothespins. It'll be so much easier. Show right into the edge. And that's what we're going for. Really easy to put together. That's what it looks like on the inside. That's what it looks like on the outside. And it doesn't matter. That's the nice thing about this. It does not matter whether it's on the inside or whether it's on the outside. I am just going to wrap it to the outside so that it kind of covers this edge here. So either way, it doesn't matter. I'm getting adhesive right up into the area where the chipboard is. So when we come around, I'm going to hold it there for just a minute. The chipboard is butted right up to the other chipboard. Let's just work this area down here for a moment, just to make sure it adheres. I'm pushing it in so the chipboards are matching each other. So again, use your thumb back there to push your chipboard sides together. Now, if you feel like your sides are just kind of bowing a little, that's okay. When we put those shells in, it's going to suck it together. Okay. That can now set aside. We can get that drying, and we want to grab now our front. This will be the front that's going to flip down. We're going to, in just a minute, adhere this to our box. But I'm going to go ahead and I want to put my sides on right now. And then when we adhere it, maybe we'll, yeah, we need to adhere these first. We're going to do it the exact same way that we did on the other box. Add our adhesive. Finished edge goes to the middle of the box. Now we can fill in the center pieces. Okay, now you definitely, there you don't want it hanging over there too much. See, if it's a little off, make it go to the top. Make the bottom a little more matching. I'm just taking these off the other box, and I really need to get some more clothespins. Okay. If you have any glue that came out, just going to clean that up. Oh, those two are going to start fighting. Now, at this point, it is a lot easier if you mat the inside. So let me grab the original box. The only way to do this is, yes, we'll have to have some of the red showing when we do our dividers, but we do want to now mat these insides, all three sides, because it's just going to be so much easier. And I am going to go ahead with my pattern paper and mat this bottom. And you can double mat. I'm not going to. We can mat it. See, I'm trying. I know some of you are going to probably want to do it with the same paper, so I think I'll go ahead and the time. I don't think I'll mat it till next time. I'll have all the matting cut, because it's still pretty easy. That's pretty easy to do. So we'll wait and do that next time. We're just going to get it all put together. Otherwise, I mean, we could go all night and make this if you want. But I have to go cook food. We have a potluck tomorrow. And I have to make a couple of dishes. Now, even though this is a swing, so now you can see these will swing. And they're going to wrap themselves. They are going to wrap themselves around our box. Push that in. So they will wrap around. And yes, I should have added another inch to this, but that half inch, but it'll be fine. I don't know why I didn't. I was going to say something. You know how you're going to say something, but we didn't say that. Okay. Oh. I do want to put the cardstock. So again, don't throw those scraps away. Oh, but you know what? They're too small. Okay. For this one, I am going to have to cut them because I don't have any more of those little scraps, which is fine. So I'm going to cut two more 8 at just 2 inches. And these are going to be 7 7/8. Same as before. So I'll make sure I add these to the cutting guide. Just cutting my score tape sheet down to 7 7/8 so that it's all ready to go. And I'll just cut it a hair short of 2 inches. I don't know if you guys can hear that rumbling. That's those two upstairs. got it on there pretty good. It's still too long. Okay, let's grab our sides. And we'll put those down just like we did at the top on the other piece. Everything sticks to you. And that will loosen up as we're working it. When I go upstairs, if they've destroyed my bed after I change those sheets again, Claudia, I'm sending them to you. Both of them. Okay, we are good there. So let's grab the box, and the thing now we need to look for is, right now I'm setting them on the inside. Okay, I want them to be on the inside because I'm going to be able to see the bottom a lot better. What we want to do is make sure it's right up at the edge of there. Oh, send him to, no, you guys, no, Bonnie. Homer couldn't, I mean, Wilbur wouldn't be able to take it. You know that. Okay? You would make Wilbur do things I don't make him do. Yes, he's a little bit spoiled, but you know this. I'm just trying to get a better feel. There we go. That's going to fit nicer. So just play with it for a minute. See what's going to fit the best for you. Because on this one, we really can't use clothespins. You can wrap it to the back, but we don't have a lot to play with. Okay, I'm just going to lay it here. It is glue. It's going to be a little messy for a moment. So see, I'm leaving my box sitting here while my hand's going to get inside there and do the work of pushing that hinge down. Until I feel like I've got it in the right place. There we go. And if you're using the wet adhesive, then you've got some room to play. No, you know they wouldn't survive it. Boot camp. I feel like that's down. I want to grab, oh, here's my lid. And see how that will fit. And then it will also fit here in the bottom of our stand. Oh, they are outside just beating each other up. Okay, across here now. So this is where we're 8.5. So I am going to add another piece of cardstock. Here I'll probably go 4 inches. And I think that's what I have left. Yep, I'll take 4 inches. Let's see, what do I have for score tape? Let's go 3 1/4 inches because I don't want to waste any of my score tape. And I mean, I don't want to get any more out. So I'm just going to cut this at 3 1/4, which is perfectly fine. And 8 3/8. And then remember, I'd cut that strip, so that's going to come in handy. It's kind of like we're piecing a quilt. I'm going to take a little bit off because I don't like my score tape to hang over the edges. Kind of cut it too short, but that's okay. Oh, you made it for a winery box. How fun. Yeah, this is, yeah, it is. It's a great box. And I'm so glad that I did get that email asking to remake it. So when I decided to remake it, I knew it was going to be a lot of fun to show you this way without having to use the strips, because I'm telling you, I cannot make a square box to save my life with strips. It's like the Leaning Tower of Pisa when I'm done. It just isn't very straight. Oh, I hate that. I am going to add just a little bit on the sides, just a tiny bit, because I shouldn't have cut my sheet of score tape. So I'll put this on the inside. Okay, now make sure everything's down. I'll take my foam folder here, try to keep it so you can see. Like I said, this is going to be stiff at first, and don't be afraid if you've wrapped it to the inside to move it a little bit, because it's not going to hurt it. I mean, don't go crazy with it to the back. And then I just have that sticking over the side a little far. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this lid on it. I'm just going to set this aside because it's 2 hours. And I know sitting any longer is a killer. And so that is where we're going to stop with tutorial number 1. And that also will get you caught up. I will put a kit together with the 2 papers, the lights, and ribbon. So I'll use a gold ribbon with the, or maybe a black. I will have to look. I thought I'm saying I could get it up tonight, but you know what? I can't. I have to get the kit up tomorrow. I forgot. I got to go cook these meals for the potluck tomorrow. And so I will get that up tomorrow when we get home. Just making sure that that is down. But that is where we are going to stop. When I come back and on number 2, I am going to have the pattern paper cut for the inside. And I will post the measurements for you because I'm going to have this. We need to mat this whole inside. And I want to grab the original box here. So I will have the insides matted. And we will then, oh, thanks for coming by. We will, next week, we are going to create the lid. If that doesn't take us 2 hours, we will go ahead and create these because I already have the pieces and parts cut for the lid. Not next week, but Monday. So Monday evening, I love my granddaughters working for me, but they go back to school Tuesday. Hallelujah. No, it's just because we're so busy during the day. And so I can go back to doing tutorials in the day on Tuesdays or Thursdays. But we are going to create we'll do the matting, and then we're going to create the lid because we need it to keep our box together. And the nice thing with this box, and this box is going to take us probably the 2 hours with the matting. If you don't have the paper and the lights, you can at least get it started, and I'll put you to stop. I'll keep going, but you'll be able to go to a stopping point. And then once you get your supplies, and you can go back and finish it. But that way, at least if you're waiting for a certain paper, but you'll be able to get to that point. We'll have the lid made, and then you'll be able to just put it on your box to hold it together. So I'll use this one for that, just for now. And on this one, I will put the one that's upside, or actually, I don't have to do that. I can put this one inside there. So see, you can have it inside there and leave it open. Okay, so that is where I'm going to leave you. And I will repost with the video. Oh, yes, I can show you that Dolly Cutter. Like I said, I've already cut all my pieces and parts for my lid, but I want to show you something. I'll show you the cutter, but also, do you guys have the We Are Memory Keepers? I will be carrying, well, I probably won't carry them in the store. I'll tell you why. You can go to Michael's online. These trays are what's on them. You put your projects in here. You put them on the little cart. This thing is amazing. If you're wondering what this is, go look for the project cart for We Are Memory Keepers. I don't carry it in the store. It would be too hard to ship. Michael's has them, and you can use your coupons. And you put your project on here. You put it on the racks. And then when you want this project, you pull it out. And then I just leave it there with my paper collection. And everything that I'm going to use for it. Let me show you. I'll show you the cutter too. Let me just move this up. Now I can go put this on my tray, and it's ready when I come back on Monday with you guys. Okay. Now let me move this. So I can bring my cutter over. Okay. The Dolly Cutter. So this is the Dolly Cutter. One of them. Yes, you do need, oh, I'm telling you, see, it's wonderful. Another toy I have at my desk, because watch this. This Bissell is the best thing. It's fabulous. Okay. Dolly Cutter. You know, let's go ahead and take this opportunity so I can show you guys a few things too, because let me tell you why. I had some of you ask if it cuts little pieces, and it does not. I'll show you why. Let's use this. Okay. So, well, the video is recorded, so you can watch it, but you can skip through the beginning if you need to. The only problem with your Dolly Cutter, that's why you see me using my Stamping Up one that I bought from one of our demos. I love this. No, I bought this on Amazon, but I buy my replacement blades from one of our customers who's a Stamping Up demonstrator because it's the best one I've ever found. I love this. But the Dolly does not cut. You have to train your brain. And here's a couple things. Love the Dolly. I've had all the other cutters. I won't have any other one but this. But this does tend to wear off. So do not use the magnets that come with this board. There is an arm with magnets that you can put on here to help hold your papers down. Don't use it. The magnets take off the screen printing. Don't cover it. I've tried covering them. I've had 3 of these different models because I use them all. Don't cover it with contact paper like we used to say, because it's going to just lift your numbers. But this one is 3 years old, and it's still going just fine. But if I want to cut smaller pieces, you have to think in reverse. So if I only needed a 1-inch strip of my 8.5 by 11, you can't put it at 1 inch. I have to put it at 10 inches. And then see, it would cut my 10 inches. I mean, my 1 inch. So you have to kind of work from reverse. But I can cut 3 and 4 nicely. I only do 3 or 4 sheets at a time, but I'll cut all my pages at once. But my chipboard, this is a heavy chipboard that I was using for the album part of this book. And if I want to cut it, you do need to just push down a little, but there you go. There's your chipboard. And if I really want to make sure it's fine tuned, so I put my arm down. And then it cuts it nice and straight. So these are worth it. And you know what? You don't ever buy a new blade. I wish I could sell them, but they're too big to ship. But you'll never buy a blade. After 3 years, it's just fine. You'll love it. And it just saves you so much time. Oh, you want to come up and say hi, everybody? He jumped on my chair. This is what he does. He gets on my desk. You want to move out from under the camera now? Come on. Move your hairy little butt over. And that's Homer and the cutter. Thanks, everybody. And I'll see. Hey, Monday, don't sip on the keyboard. Do not sip on the keyboard. Okay, Monday at 5:30 p.m. we'll be working on the lid. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.